What's going on, fish? Welcome back to your favorite Coy Pond, episode 56. As always, I am joined with my co-host, K-Dog.
Nice to be here.
As always.
Thank you for having me.
It's a real beaut. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Lord knows we'll dive into the games from this past week, but pretty good slate. Hope you got your fill of turkey, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, whatever the hell else you like. Maybe it's just 17 Corona Lights, you know? We all know what Tony Romo was doing this past weekend, and he was just sucking down Coronis.
Yes.
As always, find us on Twitter, or previously known as Twitter, now X, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to leave your favorite question with us on SpeakPipe. We will answer it live on the air. You know, we've only had one so far, but one's better than none. I'll take that any day of the week. But how about this past week? Crazy shit.
Crazy stuff.
Starting out the week, Thanksgiving Day. There we go. Now I'm finding my rhythm. It's all coming back to me. Bears and Lions.
We really thought you called it.
Felt
Let the
weird.
listeners know, you said when the game started, you're like, what was it? 1930. That 100, whatever that.
Oh, it was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Or not 100, but it was sometime in the 1930s to 50s.
On Thanksgiving.
The last time the Lions went, at that point, 10-1.
Yeah.
They lost Thanksgiving Day to the Bears. So that was history trying to repeat itself this past week, and it got close.
It was damn close.
I mean, it was close enough that when the Bears blew it, they finally fired Eberflus.
How do you not call a timeout to preserve your time when you've got a chance to get a field goal?
I mean, that was just a total mishandle of timeouts
and
clock management.
And did he look like a dumbass at the end? There it is.
Yep.
A timeout in your pocket. You run a play, and Caleb Williams is throwing down the middle of the field like he's got all the time in the world.
I mean, quite frankly, ugly.
It was ugly.
It got better, and the game as a whole was ugly, but I just couldn't believe that's how they finish it.
I swear, if you looked at Dan Campbell's face when he shook Eberflus's hand at the end, you could just see him being like, "See ya, buddy."
Yeah, like that's it. And the craziest part is in that post-game interview immediately afterwards, he's like, "I thought we managed the clock well, or we did right what we were supposed to."
Yeah.
It's like, were you trying? I mean, to be completely honest, maybe we start a conspiracy theory that all these coaches do want to get fired so they get paid year salary, 2-year salary. Because I mean, a lot of these guys, the numbers haven't come out. There's always a Twitter account that posts like what the NFL's paying coaches that have been
salaries.
fired. Yeah, and dead
Really?
salaries. We haven't. I haven't seen one this year yet. But should we start a conspiracy that a lot of people are basically taking free money from the NFL for doing nothing?
That would be very interesting.
Is there going to be a head coach gate? Or I don't know what gate that'd be, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, all
Flop
these
gate.
all these happy guys who are done with the stress, collected money, and
Getting paid
nowhere
outrageous amounts
around the NFL.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. Bears blow it. Lions doing what they need to do. They need to close out the season, and they'll be in good shape.
Rolling right on.
The second game of the day on Thanksgiving, we had Cowboys Giants.
We did.
I would argue that game was a little bit closer than I thought it would. However, you called that game to almost a T.
Just missed.
Just slightly.
And I did send out before the game started to a couple of friends my prediction that the Cowboys would score one defensive touchdown and have 6 sacks. And sure as shit, they nailed both of those. So
yeah, I think they even had 7 or 8 sacks too.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. Cowboys win. Giants are in absolute turmoil.
Yeah. So, Cowboys are, 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Not going to be much, but they do look better. Rico Dowdle played a good game, really good game.
First 100-yard rusher for the Cowboys in 25 games?
I think it was 25, 26, something like that. Very interesting.
Crazy shit.
The defense looked really good.
Micah Parsons brought some life back to that defense.
And Overshown there, too. Those guys together are proven to be something. Cowboys get DeMarcus Lawrence back this week.
That's kind of exciting.
And Zach Martin and a couple other people, and we'll see what they do against Carolina.
Yeah, Cowboys, like you said, I wouldn't say have much hope, but it's kind of exciting to see that the team's not an absolute dumpster fire, as it's kind of been made out to seem, but that's just, national media and what they do.
It's nice to play for the pick and all that stuff. You still, if you're a real fan, you want your team to win.
You do want them to win. You're just accepting that in the future you would love the pick.
You're accepting that they suck.
Yes.
Yeah.
You saying we're playing for picks is the acceptance of as you as a fan
Yes.
being like we're terrible. But
Yeah, just an interesting little tidbit at the end of the game.
yeah.
So Mike McCarthy went over to Tyrone Tracy Jr., who's the running back for the Giants, who played for college at Purdue.
Okay.
And Mike McCarthy goes over and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "I knew your dad." He goes, "We went to high school together in Indiana."
Oh my God.
So
What are the
Mike
odds?
McCarthy and Tyrone Tracy's dad, Junior's dad, played. I think he played football too.
Wow.
Mike McCarthy was a linebacker for, I think it was Fort Hays High School in Indiana.
Oh my God.
But what a funny damn thing.
It's all the coincidences in the NFL are absolutely mind blowing every single time.
Yeah.
Just the little things.
So when I watched a replay of the game, just like a sped up version of it at the end, they showed that little tidbit, and I'm like, that's worth saying something about.
Oh yeah,
So,
of course. It's
cool stuff.
crazy little things.
And then we had the night game.
night game. Packers and Dolphins.
The Dolphins just cannot play in cold weather.
No, we point blank said it last week. The Dolphins made it sound like through the media that there was a shot. There was no shot.
No.
I believe, at the end they might have gotten a trash touchdown to get another 7. But the Packers handled the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't belong in the North. We talked about it last week. Packers look good.
Yeah, and I heard NFL radio. They were joking about when the Dolphins said, "Oh yeah, we prep for the weather and all that stuff." They're like, "What do they do? Go in the air conditioning?"
Yeah.
Is that how they?
It's just one of those things you can barely prep for.
It's a terrible thing, and Miami is just not a physical team whatsoever.
No, and random injuries kind of barring them too.
Yeah.
I watched this game. I didn't watch it in depth once it started becoming a blowout, but it is what it is.
Yep.
Packers playing to get that wild card spot, and the Dolphins are struggling to get into the wild card spot.
Exactly.
Black Friday, Chiefs barely beat the Raiders. Let me be the first to say that I was tragically wrong about how this game would go.
Yeah.
We got the pick right. I was tragically wrong about how I thought this game would go.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought they'd blow them out?
Yes, because the Raiders made the comment on the offseason saying that they figured out how to beat the Chiefs. I clowned them for being the Raiders, and then they basically should have beat the Chiefs. I mean, the call at the end of that game was insane, that it was not a false start and was, in fact, a illegal formation, meaning that fumbled snap counted as a fumble instead of it being just, a replay of downs, loss of 5 or whatever it be, loss of 10.
So did that go for the Chiefs then?
That went for the Chiefs. And once again, the
Shocker.
Chiefs barely squeak away, and the Chargers take on them Sunday night. So
good Lord.
the black magic continues for the Chiefs. I really don't have anything too positive to say about this game, except Brock Bowers is an absolute demon.
He's a beast.
There's just no way around it.
Where the hell did that guy come from?
Well, the Raiders picked 2 first-round tight ends. They're bound to hit on one of them.
Yeah.
You would hope.
I thought Mike Myers, with the name Mike Myers, would have been, a beast, but it didn't turn out that way so far.
And I haven't watched the Raiders enough to know, but it feels like they might be having him blocking and have Brock Bowers focus on receiving, given that there's very few actual players on that team.
There you go.
Maybe.
Could
I don't
be.
know. We'll have to check the tapes later.
Check the tape.
Colts Patriots, nothing too special. Colts almost lose that.
Yeah.
We picked that right. Oh, we picked. I almost forgot this. We went 14-2 this past week. Our lowest viewed video in maybe a year. If you would have taken any of our picks, you probably would have done all right.
That's a dominating record right there.
Yes, for 1 week. To clarify, when we say we'll pick them to win, that's money line. When we outright say the spread, take the spread.
Yep.
And frankly, I didn't mess with the over-unders. I was just taking winners and spread.
Right.
The only losses we had were the Cincinnati Steelers game and the Cardinals-Vikings game, which both, in hindsight, it's 2020. The Cardinals-Vikings was a close game. We'll get to that here in a second. The Cincinnati Steelers game
turned into a blowout.
It turned into a crazy, crazy game, which I guess is next. Steelers 144-38. I'm assuming, I don't know what's gonna happen in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're a mess right now. Anything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Yep.
And again, you look at the Steelers and you say 42 points.
Yeah.
But 2 of those touchdowns came on the defense, from the defense. Cincinnati had a ball tipped in the air, got picked off, and I forget what the other one was. But again, the Bengals just can't stop anyone.
No.
Now they're having issues on offense. Steelers look pretty damn good.
Yes, it's hard to deny. I don't know what's going to happen with the Bengals. Obviously, T. Higgins probably gone. For some reason, I feel like Cincinnati being Cincinnati, they're going to keep that head coach, Zach Taylor. Maybe the defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. He was a big target this last offseason. I don't think they're going to have trouble keeping him this season with how that defense has been. But, time will tell. Time will tell. Chargers barely beat the Falcons. That was hilarious to watch. If you saw me on Twitter, I was celebrating by just tweeting out, "Come in, yo trap, take yo trap," 24/7. Kirko threw 4 interceptions and one was a pick 6, including one on the last drive of the game to seal the deal. Michael Penix might be coming in here soon because there's a legit chance the Falcons miss the playoffs.
Yep. Which is a complete epic failure for bringing in Kirk Cousins.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
They have still not gotten... Well, no, Bijan got going. He had a 100-yard game.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're not seeing Kyle Pitts and Bijan in the same game. Drake London's good. I have nothing against him. But
yeah, they just can't get it all going at once.
No. At first-year head coach, too. Maybe that plays into it. I'm not too sure.
And the Chargers, did their defensive kind of game. Yeah. Their 2013, whatever.
Yes.
Pretty close.
Exactly. Missing... I think Lad McConkey went out towards the end, also missing J.K. Dobbins. Offensively missing some pieces, but they handled Kirk just fine in Atlanta. Seahawks come back and beat the Jets.
Yeah.
Jets explode.
They're just horrible.
It's going to be bad. This offseason we'll talk about if Aaron Rodgers is coming back or not. For his own sake, I'd say release the Netflix documentary that he has coming out and be gone.
Yep. Well, I would be shocked if he comes back.
I would be too. Time will tell. Just our hot take early.
It kind of reminds me of when Dan Marino was at the end of his career, and the talent when it dropped off. I mean, it went like this, and I remember it was just awful.
Yeah,
and Rodgers looks that way right now.
Yeah, that Rodgers and also that defense is nothing to envy. They don't look like what they should have looked like. Honestly, they traded for that one guy from the Eagles, didn't they?
Yeah. Then they get Reddick.
Yeah, has he played?
I don't know.
Neither do I. And that's a point enough to be like, what's going on over in Jets land? Obviously the coaching situation, but we will see. We will see. Texans barely beat the Jaguars after decapitating Trevor Lawrence. That was damning.
It was. The Texans are a mess.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but they're a game like that with the Jaguars doesn't give you a lot of warm and fuzzies.
No, it does not. Mac Jones about came back and won that game after Trevor Lawrence went out. So. I don't know what to think about the Texans. I'm kind of convinced if they're not home, they can't win to some extent. Obviously, they won that game, but you're playing the Jaguars.
Yeah,
that should be at least 7 points.
Yeah, I would think.
But we will see. We will see. Cardinals versus Vikings. Vikings squeak away with the win. The Cardinals are the most up and down team I've ever seen.
You cannot predict them.
They sincerely play to whoever they're playing.
Yep.
And sometimes they squeak away in the one possession game, and sometimes they don't.
And they had that game.
It felt like they did.
Yeah, they had it on the scoreboard. Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
Let it get away.
Yeah. Commanders just routed the Titans. Kind of saw this coming. Didn't expect it to be such a blowout. I think the first quarter they were up 28-0. That got out of hand real quick, and then you just put in your backups.
I think the Commanders had lost 3 straight. Was it?
Yes.
So they were due to win, and they I don't know, wear those black jerseys every week. I think.
Yeah, for the rest of the season. There's no reason not to. Buccaneers Panthers. Buccaneers win it to overtime.
Yeah,
that was a lot closer than I expected it to be.
And we talked about the Panthers in the offseason. And we kind of said, how are they going to get to, whatever wins? But they sure. What's that?
We said 6.
Yeah, but they are fighting their way, and they'll probably get a few more before the season's over.
I know. I mean, Bryce Young went out and sat for a little bit, and somehow he collected his belongings and decided he was going to be great at football.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see it. I just didn't expect it.
No, I don't know where that came from, but it sure woke his ass up.
For sure. Rams at Saints. Rams win against the Saints by 7. That's about what I expected.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill got hurt, I believe.
He did. Gone for the year.
Saints offense will not be exciting for the rest of the year now. That was about as exciting as it got. Rams taking care of business, trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Kind of what you expect.
Pretty much.
Eagles beat the Ravens. Ravens go up 9 points, I believe, and the Eagles come back and win it. We kind of predicted that. I didn't honestly watch most of this game. I had plans, but that's a pretty big win for the Eagles, and it kind of sets a precedent for where the Ravens stand in the AFC, beating the Chargers and then losing to the Eagles, if I had to, in my opinion.
Yeah. Kudos to Kellen Moore, for sticking with Saquon Barkley. The running game was not there early on.
Right.
but they just kept hammering it, and slowly they got on top of them, and you could see them wear them out. So Eagles defense held in there pretty good against Derrick Henry overall, and you could see their defense is getting better too.
For sure. That's a scary thing for the NFC.
Yeah,
it should be interesting when at some point with the Lions how they match up against each other.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
It really would be. Bills in the Snow Bowl versus the 49ers. That was a beatdown.
Yeah.
I believe Josh Allen threw a ball to himself, technically.
He did.
And he had the trifecta of rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown.
Yeah.
In a Snow Bowl in Buffalo.
McCaffrey's gone for the year.
Yeah, McCaffrey's officially dead.
I don't know what is going on there, but...
Yeah,
Ding dong, the witch is dead. I mean, he is not the automatic number one pick next year.
No, bing bong, he is gone. This was a beatdown. I think everyone kind of had this in their head of what was going to happen. We might have seen the rise and fall of the 49ers.
Rumors now talk about Kyle Shanahan and what's going on there and what's next for him. And
yeah, that team, there's a lot of extensions that were just made on that team, and Lord only knows. I mean, it's probably not going to get as ugly as I think it will in my head, but there's always the chance that this goes down bad enough.
That's true.
And then Monday night, one of the best Monday night games we've had this year. Jerry Jeudy coming back into Denver to play his old team, the Broncos, against Sean Payton and Bo Nix. And that game did not disappoint. That was probably one of the most exciting games I've ever seen. And Jameis Winston loses it on a pick at the end. A pick six and then another pick.
Yep. Yeah, they were Bo Nix again doing a great job.
Yeah, I mean, there was 2 drives there where they both threw bombs to their wide receivers and scored touchdowns immediately. It was insane.
Yeah, sure was.
And, a lot of people... James Winston should be a number 1 quarterback somewhere, and the same sentiment is with me, but just not on my team.
Mm-hmm.
I think, sometimes we love quarterbacks, and they're good, but we sometimes forget why James Winston's probably a quarterback 2, is what I would say. Given it was under the lights, he still put up 32 points. That should be enough to beat a team.
I would think.
The sad part is the Broncos put up 41. So, it is what it is. That was an exciting week of football.
Yep, sure was.
Now... to start off December, we have a new award. Now, this award this month is going to go to a player that played out of their mind, did the best they could, and could not put the team on their back in the sense of they still lost. So, the name of this award this month is the December Misfit Toy Award. And as you might be able to guess, it's a poor player that does amazing, that is just losing games. And it's not their fault. But you know what? You can't spell a loss with I. Or something like that. I can't remember how the saying goes. Nevertheless, it might be pretty obvious who this award goes to. Came back to his original team. And he played out of his goddamn mind. Jerry Jeudy is the Week 1 Misfit Toy Award winner.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Yes,
you can pick that up later.
You can get a cookie from within Santa's cavities. But that was an insane performance. That was like Jamar Chase against the Chargers or the Redskins. I can't remember who they played, they had crazy numbers. But Jerry Jeudy he was talking shit the previous week, and boy did he perform up to those words.
Yeah.
He ran his mouth and then he ran to the end zone. Amazing job, honestly.
Even Sean Payton at the end of the game, they showed him hugging him and talking to him, and
it was pretty cool.
He probably was like, "Damn, man!"
He's like, yeah, for sure. And
hell of a game,
just a hell of a game. So that is our Week 1 award winner. We'll be doing that every week, and it's the previous week. We're just gonna keep it going. I know that performance technically happened. That performance did happen in December. Okay, we're back on it.
Woohoo!
Now we're gonna run this scene back just because I found it funny the first time, and because I have to edit this, I'm gonna do it again. I was hoping we would never have to put this scene up. It's just tragic. It really is. We already have playoff eliminations in the NFL.
Womp, womp, womp.
4 beautiful teams. You know what? They showed up on Sunday.
Outstanding teams.
They made logos for their teams 100 years ago.
Outstanding in the field.
Yes. They were there. They had 11 men on the field at all times, maybe sometimes 12, and that's why they're here. New England Patriots. You did your best.
Tom. Where have you gone, Tom?
Begging for the reincarnate Tom Brady. Maybe that's Drake May. Not this year. It's very sad. I don't know where they go next. They have hope, but Gerard Mayo does not know what to do with players once they hit the field.
Yes.
Tragic. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh.
Your quarterback just got murdered. And your chances of going to the NFL playoffs. I am so sorry.
They did the best they could. They tried to beat the Texans.
Gabe Davis. Where is he? Missing alert. Someone put out a wanted poster. I don't know where he is. Las Vegas Raiders.
Ugh.
None of your quarterbacks could survive the entire season. I think
None of
Aiden
them.
O'Connell is still playing with a bum finger.
Who's the running back?
Yeah, who?
You know?
Madison? Zamir White? I don't know.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers. I'm sorry. Hey, welcome to the NFL.
Where's Devontae?
Black and gray. Yeah, Devontae's gone. Papa left. He's not coming home. Sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. You will not be in the playoffs this year. And finally, the most crushing one with Tommy Cutlets. New York Giants. I am so sorry. I can't believe we have to lower your logo into the casket this year. You had so much hope letting Saquon go to the Eagles. Who's going to take Saquon? No one wants Saquon. Let him walk. Now, and you paid Daniel Jones, damn it. He's not even on the team now. What are you thinking?
You paid Daniel Jones, and a guy named Drew Lock had 2 touchdowns on Thanksgiving.
Drew Lock made a comeback because of you. Unbelievable. Hey,
Insane.
You know, it's not Malik Neighbors' fault. It's not Tyrone Tracy's fault. It's just, I don't even know if I can blame Dable. It's like the higher-ups than that.
Yeah.
But he's not helping.
That's a mess.
Dable, go back to Buffalo. What are you doing? Get out of there.
Looking at all 3 of the 4 except for the Patriots getting new coaches.
You know what? Honestly, maybe even the Patriots. I mean, Doug Peterson's gone. I can't imagine Dable's still there after 3 seasons of being kind of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Raiders coach? Something. Oh my.
Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce. Thank you. I always forget his name. He might still be there. I mean, he hasn't had much to work with.
Tom Brady though.
Tom Brady in Las
the ownership
Vegas.
there.
Maybe he helps. I don't know. That honestly, I think a comfortable 3 out of these 4. I just don't know which 3.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be turnover. It's tragic. Sorry we had to do it to you guys this early.
Yes.
Next week there'll be more. We'll have to have a moment of silence again.
That's right.
I have to start getting my eulogies together.
Gonna keep rolling from here.
It is. And on a not better note, but a different note, obviously Al Shahir is suspended 3 games when they play Miami, at Kansas City, and they play Baltimore.
Ooh.
That is rough for the Texans. I think they're going to feel that, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a rough suspension. Deontay Johnson suspended
What happened with him?
refusing to play.
He did?
Yeah, so the Ravens suspended him, I think. I think that's how that worked. He's suspended for sure.
I don't understand that.
I don't think he was happy with playing time, and then maybe he refused to practice.
Wow.
I didn't read the article. I should have. I was rushed to the end of the day. Obviously.
No, I'm just going to say that I know they said he wasn't playing or something like that, but I didn't understand why.
Well, that came out before this.
Oh.
So I think he maybe threw a temper tantrum. Maybe. I don't know.
What a guy.
Yeah, what a guy. Hey, can't win them all. Trevor Lawrence, obviously, IR. McPherson for the Bengals, also headed to IR. Interesting news. I thought just little fun tidbits to help you lose fantasy this week, since everyone's playoffs happen on a 6-team bye week.
Right.
Look for low-scoring affairs.
Yes.
This is going to suck. Thank God I missed the playoffs in 2 of my 3 leagues on purpose. Hey, stay one step ahead.
Better rest up.
But hey, I had to rest my players. It's a rebuilding year anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I don't really have anything else. I kind of covered my bases. Ready for next week's games?
I think you got it.
Hell yeah. Packers take on the Lions in D-Town this Thursday. Today when you're watching this, as I often forget.
So keep in mind, last year, this was a game where Green Bay turned it on.
Yes, and they just got done beating the Dolphins, which I would say is probably a good intro into going to Detroit.
Detroit almost lost to Chicago.
Detroit almost lost to Chicago.
So Detroit seems like they could be.
Detroit's banged up defensively, big time. You're going to have to rely on an offensive shootout. Packers put up 30-something points.
They can do it.
They feel like they're capable. Jair Alexander is back.
Okay.
This week.
Can the Packers stop the run, I wonder?
That, I think, will be an X factor.
Because if play action's not working for Detroit,
they're gonna.
Jared Goff has kind of neutralized them.
Yes, 100%. They have met guys in motion all the time.
Yeah.
That's usually successful. We'll have to see with the Packers bringing Jair Alexander back for this game if that has any implications. James Williams coming off kind of a rough game. Amon-Ra, obviously a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Laporta hasn't got much action this year, but maybe they turn it on here.
Yeah.
However, the Packers, I believe Josh Jacobs is questionable. He might have moved. He's probably playing from what I saw, but he did have a Q. So something to keep in mind. I don't know how teams have run against the Lions this year. I'm assuming as the season's gone on, they've run more just because the team is banged to high hell on defense. Now, the Lions' rookie cornerbacks have played out of their mind this year. So maybe this is something where we might be looking at a rushing game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Lions are going to throw the ball. Obviously, it's the Packers that are going to throw the ball. But it leads me to believe this could be a potential rushing game. It's prime time, jitters, I don't know. They both know how much this game matters because it is divisional. Short week.
Yep.
Well,
for Detroit at least.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no.
Shorter for the Packers.
Packers, yeah.
So we'll see how that plays into it. Jordan Love's had some health issues all year. I really don't know what to make of this. Over-under's 51.5.
I'd take the under.
I really think the same thing. There's something about these games this game should be an over.
Mm-hmm.
And that is exactly why I like the under. Now, the Coy Pond pick record this year is better than it was last year. But we could use a couple wins.
Room for improvement.
Yes. So, I think we're both in agreement. The Coy Pond pick of the week is the under 51.5. I could see this being, if it, with all this rushing, time might go by a little quicker, given it's both these teams, so I could see it being a passing game too. There's just something about this being a divisional game that makes me think we're finally going to get an under, and this is going to suck.
I think for some reason, I feel Green Bay in this game. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I'm thinking 26-21.
26-21 Packers?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, we have to pick. Should we pick the Packers to cover the +3?
I think we should.
All right. Well, sorry. The Lions need a wake-up call, and I guess the Packers will deliver. We'll take the Packers +3, and the Coy Pond pick of the week is the under. Just keep in mind. We'll have to see what goes on. I'll be putting out some free bets on the Twitter account, so follow the Twitter account. We are 5-1 on the prop bets so far in the last. I think we've put out a few, so it's been like 3 weeks, maybe almost a month now. 5-1. So I'm not doing too bad when I go home and do a little extra research, but picking these games can be tough at times. All right. Sunday, Saints at Giants. Boy.
Saints at Giants?
Stinkville. I mean, I almost don't even want to pick this game just because it has no implications.
Right.
But we have to.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one gives a shit. Saints favored by 4.5 on the road.
Giants are kind of, I don't know.
I hate this. I really hate this.
Can the Saints play outside?
Maybe. That's an excellent point. I might take Giants.
Just for that reason?
Just +4.5, just because this game's going to be low scoring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could go with the Giants.
You want to do that just to get ballsy with it?
Let's do it.
All right, Giants +4.5. No reason. No rhyme or reason except it's outside. Browns at Steelers.
The Browns beat...
Pittsburgh's -6.5.
Browns beat the Steelers recently?
Yeah, the first showing. That was the original Snow Bowl before the Buffalo game.
Yeah. Steelers get revenge here.
Yeah, they do. It's take Steelers to win. It's in Pittsburgh. Steelers just play better there. I think
they're rolling right now.
Yeah, the Browns coming off a great game against Denver. I just don't see how it's sustainable. It's Jameis Winston. I mean, he'll make it exciting. I just have more faith in Tomlin.
If Denver scored on 2 defensive touchdowns,
yeah, that's a good point.
The Steelers will score on at least 1.
And it did get loud. I bet Pittsburgh's going to be pissed, which means TJ Watt's pissed, which, at home there'll be a lot of terrible towels flying.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it is.
Boom.
Falcons at Vikings. Now, is this the game the Falcons win?
Well, we know that Kurt is going to be fired up for this one.
You would assume, right?
Going to Minnesota?
Yeah. Minnesota's -6.
Huh.
I'd almost take Falcons +6.
I'd go with that.
Unless you have any thoughts.
I mean, anything with Kirk Cousins is possible.
That's the thing. Is this, with how they've been this year, they just lost at home. They should win away when they're not supposed to.
Yeah. They're kind of like Arizona. You just don't know what to predict.
That's exactly how I feel. That's why I'm like, if they're giving us 6, fucking, why not?
And the Vikings just barely squeaked it out against Arizona.
That's what I'm thinking.
That one would have made sense. A running quarterback, all that stuff. Kirk's not going to be running.
Nope.
But I think the Falcons win the game.
Hell yeah. Falcons +6. You think the Falcons win?
I think they win it straight up.
Okay. Well, that'll be our little difference in this week. Raiders at Buccaneers. Buccaneers favored by 6.5. I have to imagine the Raiders win this. I mean, Buccaneers win this. Sorry.
I think so.
They're playing for a divisional, win the division, and that's the only way I think these teams can even make it to the playoffs. There's a couple scenarios where they could also make it on top of it, but I'm gonna have to go with the Buccaneers to win this game.
Completely agree.
And I'll take a minus 6.5 even. Give me that and a touchdown win. I think Buccaneers will be ready for it. I can't remember if anybody got hurt in that Buccaneers-Panthers game, but I don't remember hearing anything. So
Bucky Irvin was questionable, I think, but I think he's playing, so I think they're good.
Yeah, I'll take Bucks. Panthers go to Philadelphia. Philly's minus 12.5. Does Carolina catch the Eagles off guard and cover 12.5?
I think they cover it.
It's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Yeah, you're coming off playing the Ravens. They're a fairly physical team.
Yeah. Derrick Henry at least.
Panthers are playing much better.
Yeah, they almost beat the Chiefs. They almost beat the Buccaneers.
I think Philly wins, but I think it's more like
10?
Yeah, but they certainly don't cover that 13.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, Give me Panthers plus 12.5. I like the dogs this week. Fuck it. Jaguars at Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 3.5. I kind of like Mac Jones to win this.
Yeah?
Why not? Will Levis does not look good by any stretch of the imagination.
He really doesn't.
Ridley does look good when Levis can throw it.
Right.
Jaguars have a pretty good defensive line. Nothing's happened there. Fuck it. Give me Mac Jones. I like the plus 3.5.
All right.
I have no reason to think any of these things, but after the 14-2 week, it's all in my head. My ego is through the roof right now. Jets take on the Dolphins in Miami.
Ugh.
Miami's favored by 6. I am just going to take Miami to win this game.
Yeah.
I don't trust the spreads of either one of these teams. Jets could come out 21-0 and lose 24-21.
That's true.
That's
probably what will happen.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers thrives in the warmer climates.
Might be.
Well, I guess he played at Green Bay and the Jets, maybe not. But, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I like them.
Seahawks at Cardinals. Now, this one,
Here we go.
Has some implications divisionally.
And here's where the Cards are dangerous.
Yes. Is this the week the Cardinals win because they just got done losing to the Vikings?
Seahawks have been playing pretty well.
Defense
has been playing pretty well. But feels like a Cardinals win to me.
Gino, I think, took the Jets one personal because he used to play for the Jets, and there was something was going on there. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'll take a minus 2.5.
Yeah.
And you know what? It makes no sense, and that's why, baby, we love the NFL. Bills at Rams. Buffalo minus 4. The fact that that's only minus 4, it is in LA. But the fact that that's only minus 4 scares me for a reason I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why it would be that low and not 6.5.
You think it should be more?
I think it should be. I mean, the Bills just look so good.
Mm-hmm.
I am simply going to take the Bills to win. The 4 scares me. The 4 makes me think the books think it'll be 3. They're trying to dog walk me in that. I refuse to participate.
I agree with you. I think Bills win by 3.
But I do think the Rams will stay in it. I think the Rams have the ability to outshoot any team in the NFL.
They're tough.
Stafford, Puka, Cup. Yeah, Kyron shows up once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Rams offensively. Bears at 49ers. San Francisco favored by 4.
Dumpster dive here.
This game to me has no implications either.
No. Niners are done. Bears are done.
Out of spite and a new head coach, I have to assume the 49ers win this.
I would think.
At home, Levi Stadium.
Yeah.
Get you a pair of jeans.
Yeah. I would think.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Or is the locker room so bad in the San Fran that it's going to burn to the ground?
No, it can't be.
Is Ayuk wearing the wrong color shorts? the real questions. Give me the 49ers. The game's kind of useless at this point.
Right.
Okay, Sunday night, Chargers at Chiefs.
Ooh.
Kansas City favored by minus 3.5. Give me the Chargers plus 3.5, only because this will come down to a black magic play where Kadarius Toney comes from the rafters and catches a touchdown to win by 1. I am fully believing that some Swiftie hexed the Chiefs so they can only win by 1 to 2 points every game.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this is going to go. I'll probably end up me crying hammered on a Sunday night. But you know what? I'm all for it. The Chargers, quite frankly, the Chiefs should win this by 7, but the Chiefs don't feel like a true 11-1. I know that's what we all keep saying. That's the narrative, and it's the Chiefs. This This Chiefs team is what the Patriots could have been before the playoffs if they just won a few extra possession games.
Right.
I sincerely believe it'll be a bloodbath once the playoffs start, and I don't fully believe in the Chargers, to be completely honest. But somehow, the Chargers haven't won this game in so long that they'll barely lose it. So, it is what it is. And
I personally think the Chargers win 24-23.
Okay. I'd like that. I could live with that. Yeah, I mean, take my opinion on it with a grain of salt. I'm a Chargers fan. Everything's sad, but not as sad as these two teams. Bengals at Cowboys for the Simpsons game.
That's hurtful.
No, this game's being played in Springfield. It's
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just joshing.
What do you think? I don't know.
Boy, this game could go either way.
Could go either way. So Cooper Rush does have experience beating Cincinnati before.
Yes.
He did it 2 years ago, I think. Dallas's offense, if they can run the ball, and I think you can run the ball against Cincinnati these days.
I would say so.
Dallas's defense is playing very well in the last 2 weeks.
It has.
And we saw Pittsburgh get 2 defensive touchdowns on Cincy's offense last week. I don't know.
Cincinnati's favored by 5. That's a really odd number to be favored by.
Yeah.
I would.
What does that tell you?
Is that 2 field goals they basically think they'll win by? To some extent, but it being a flat 5, I don't know. I want to take the Cowboys, but every defense the Bengals have played against have still put up crazy numbers. You know what I mean?
Defense?
Chargers.
Oh, they have, you mean?
Yeah, the Bengals have. Given the Cincinnati was against the Steelers, that was divisional opponents. That's a bit different.
Yeah.
When they played the Chargers numbers have only been so low because they played the worst opponents in the NFL so far.
Yeah.
Cowboys defense looks revitalized, and with Lawrence back, that line is terrible. Joe Burrow is amazing, but there's only so much he can do. I kind of want to take the Cowboys +5 at home, just out of spite that both of these teams have found ways to lose games.
You said Cincinnati's favored by 5?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Cowboys to beat the spread.
Yes.
But the Bengals win 24-20.
Okay. It's not a terrible pick.
I think.
Well, McPherson's out too.
Yeah, I think Dallas does enough to keep it close, but I think at the end of the day, Dallas's offense can't keep up with Cincinnati's offense, and Dallas's defense probably scores a touchdown.
I can see that. I think it's a fair point. I would take Cincinnati Cowboys +5.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luke. I know you won't watch this anyway, but that would be my hunch just going into it, given that by the fourth quarter, both defenses are kind of gassed, and I think Cincinnati could take advantage of that a little bit more than the Cowboys could.
I think so.
But also,
a lot of weapons.
Both these teams. Right? I mean, you're kind of playing Jeopardy with this.
Right.
Or spin the wheel. I don't know what you're playing. You're playing a game. I don't know. I'm tired. But that is all the games we have for this week. We're 3 teams on bye. I have 6 teams on bye. I can't remember who.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. I can't believe bye weeks are still happening this late in the season.
It's bizarre.
But, they find a way. I guess you got to play around the holidays. We got Christmas games coming up on Netflix and shit of that nature. Nevertheless, thank you all for listening, watching, participating, liking, subscribing, commenting, as you always do.
Appreciate you.
We'll see you guys again next week for episode 57.
Right on.
Hey, be safe.